Bluffs Savings Bank, you still get personalized customer service.
We have identity-safe checking with LifeLock, identity theft protection.
You get personal mortgage lending to fit your needs now and in the future.
You get business banking with the latest technology because saving you time saves you money.
At Council Bluffs Savings Bank, you get people who answer when you call and local employees who are actively involved in our community. Council Bluffs Savings Bank, hometown banking the way it used to be.
All right, welcome everybody. Please stand and join us in the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
I'd like to call the meeting to order. Let the record show all council members are in attendance and would entertain a motion for the consent agenda.
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. I have a proclamation tonight in regards to National Historic Preservation Month, and the proclamation reads as follows. City of Council Bluffs, Iowa, Office of the Mayor Proclamation. Whereas historic preservation is an effective tool for managing growth, revitalizing neighborhoods, fostering local pride, and maintaining community character while enhancing livability. And whereas historic preservation is relevant for communities across the nation, both urban and rural, and for Americans of all ages, all walks of life, and all ethnic backgrounds. And whereas it is important to celebrate the role of history in our lives and the contributions made by dedicated individuals in helping to preserve the tangible aspects of the heritage that has shaped us as a people, therefore I, Matt Walsh, Mayor of the City of Council Bluffs, does hereby proclaim May 2015 as National Historic Preservation Month in the City of Council Bluffs, Iowa. And I urge all citizens of this historic city to join me in supporting the goals of Preservation Month and participating in this special observance. In witness whereof, I have hereon to set my hand and cause the official seal of the City of Council Bluffs, Iowa to be affixed this 4th day of May in the year 2015. Madam Clerk.
Ordinances on first reading. Ordinance 6230, amending the zoning map as adopted by reference in section 15.02.040 by rezoning the properties located at 229 and 231 12th Avenue and legally described as being the east half and the west half of Lot 6, Block 7, Park Addition from C2 Commercial District to R3 Low Density Multifamily Residential District as defined in Chapter 15.10 and setting a public hearing for May 18, 2015 at 7 p.m.
Move the ordinance to second reading and set public hearing for 7 p.m. on May 18th, 2015.
Second.
Any discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign.
Ordinance 6231, amending the zoning map as adopted by reference in section 15.02.040 by repealing the C2 Commercial District contract zoning approved by ordinance number 5948 and later amended by ordinances 6176 and 6204 on property legally described as Lot 16 and part of Lot 17 and 18, Glengarry Addition, lying west of ditch except highway right-of-way, and rezoning said property to C2 Commercial District as defined in Chapter 15.15, setting a public hearing for May 18, 2015 at 7 p.m.
Move the ordinance to second reading and set public hearing for 7 p.m. on May 18th, 2015.
Second.
Discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign.
Ordinances update parking meter fees, designated snow rates, routes, and posted speed limits for ordinance 6232, amending section 2.08.060 fees and charges authorized in Title IX, and ordinance 6233, amending Chapter 9.34 and Section 9.34.030 emergency snow routes established, and ordinance 6234, amending Chapter 9.88 Section 9.88.080 schedule of posted streets.
Motion to approve C1 through C3.
Second.
Discussion.
Would it be possible to vote on C1 through C3 separately.
Is there a second?
So moved.
Second? Sure. Discussion on the motion to separate the items. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed, same sign.
Ordinance 6232, amending Chapter 2.08, Schedule of Fees by amending Section 2.08.060, Fees and Charges authorized in Title IX.
We already have a motion and a
I
second,
already have a
correct?
motion and a second.
Well, I think we probably need to go back, split them out. Yeah.
Modify your motion to just address C1.
Separately?
Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, I would make a motion to modify my original motion.
I concur.
And that is to read C1 separate?
We've already done that, I believe.
Yeah, okay.
And so what we're doing now is reading C1. We're going to do C2 and 3, and so we'll need
Together.
motions on each one of those, I believe. So,
Gotcha.
Yes.
and so we have a motion on C1. Is there any discussion?
Just so people, for clarification, we're not actually raising the fees with this action. The fees are already, have already been in practice. It's merely cleaning up some of the language related to meters that were old mechanical, that have been updated over the course of the years, and we're cleaning up the ordinance to match what is practiced in reality today.
I'm not sure I agree with that interpretation, since the city code provides that the fees for the meters are as provided by city code, and the city code was not modified since 2003. I asked several questions of Public Works Department today about the meters and traffic flow and cost effectiveness of the meter program, and I'm awaiting additional information from them. I'm also interested in hearing from not only small business owners, but people who regularly conduct business downtown and need to use the downtown parking. I'm interested in hearing your opinions on the meter program. So if you please get in contact with me via the city website, I would appreciate hearing from you. Thank you.
And just so people know, and you don't have to read through the entire packet of information, the parking meter fee that has been in effect since 2003 for a half hour is 75 cents per hour. The 1 to 2 hour meters are 50 cents per hour. The 10-hour meters are 25 cents per hour. There is no change to any of those fees. However, the clarification on the half-hour meters has a text that now reads 1 half hour and 20-minute meters. There are meters out there for 20 minutes. So, but the fee still remains 75 cents per hour.
Well, and I just feel it's incumbent on me to make a statement on the parking meter, so that, you know, just to contact your representative and say whether or not you like parking meters or not, maybe doesn't tell the whole story. And the intent of parking meters is to turn over the parking places. If there were no parking meters, people who worked at retail businesses could park in front of their business, or if they were an employee of the business, could park in front of that business all day long, and there wouldn't be parking for the customers. We've got situations where people live in downtown Council Bluffs and could park their cars all day long in front of the meters. And so, if I understand people don't like to pay a parking meter fee, they especially don't like to pay a ticket if they get caught violating the parking meter fee. But you need to understand the intent of the parking meter. It's not a revenue, its intent is not to produce revenue for the city, it's to turn over the parking places for people that are patrons of the businesses, so that they have a ready available parking place. And so when you're factoring in your comments, consider that that's the reason for the parking meter fee and having a parking meter, because it allows those spaces to turn over on a regular basis.
Well, I'd just like to add, I've had many requests to do away with the parking meters.
down on the 100 block, the parking lot, the Vine Street parking lot, and I'm not on the surface of that opposed to doing that, but what I'd like to say is that most of the people that have asked me, they want to make it 2-hour parking and then have the city monitor that parking during that 2 hours. So when somebody's been over there 2 hours, they mark the tire, go back, check them, or I guess there's a machine they can put the tag into, but there then would be no revenues from the meters, which cover the costs of the enforcement. So for me, it's, you know, if we weren't to have meters, then we couldn't ask then that the taxpayers support monitoring those parking spaces without income to support the cost of that. So those are the input I've gotten from people is that, you know, they still want to monitor it and have it 2-hour parking, so.
And I, like I'd mentioned this afternoon at study session, I think as our downtown continues to grow and as people tend to move back to the urban center, we'll have to look at doing what a lot of other cities have done, some for decades that are larger than us, but we're reaching a point where we're getting to a certain size that it might make sense to how we structure the meters, areas with business and people living in condos or apartments as to the residential stickering system or some sort of system so that there's a ready and available amount of parking for people wanting to use the businesses and also enough space for residents, and so that all of that can be done and incentivized and most importantly paid for by the people who are using the spot instead of general taxation, which the current system, despite certainly having flaws like any system does, pays for itself and keeps access open in front, like the mayor said, in front of the businesses. I don't like the meters either, but if you couldn't ever get into the shoe store, or if you're having your hair cut and there's never any parking on that block, that seems worse than a quarter if you have to pick.
Well, and you're also paying for the convenience, which is why there's 3 different levels of parking fees. If you're going to be a quick in and out somewhere, 20-minute, 30-minute, you're going to pay that 75 cents per hour. If you're going to be getting your hair done or whatever, it's going to be 1 or 2 hours, you're only paying 50 cents per hour. And then if you are going to park further out, you're still downtown, but you've got to walk a little ways, and you get to pay the lower fee, 25 cents per hour, but you've got to do a little bit more walking. So there's 3 different fee structures depending on where you want to park.
And I can get my hair done in 10 minutes.
I cannot. Takes an hour just to dry my hair.
Any other discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign.
Nay.
And for those at home, that was 4-1.
Ordinance 6233, amending Chapter 9.34, Emergency Snow Routes by amending Section 9.34.030, Emergency Snow Routes established. And Ordinance 6234, amending Chapter 9.88, Speed Regulations by amending Section 9.88.080, Schedule of Posted Streets.
Motion to approve ordinance 6233 and 6234.
Second.
Discussion. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign.
Ordinance 6235, amending Chapter 3.08, Beer and Liquor Control by amending Section 3.08.045, exceptions to Section 3.08.040, Parent 5.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Any discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign.
Applications for permits and cancellations 6A through C.
Motion to approve 6A through C inclusive.
Second.
Discussion. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Any citizens request to be heard?
None received.
Anyone from the audience like to address the council?
Mark Hanson, 110 High Clare. I'm also a co-owner of Rodeo Saloon and Barbecue over on 2nd Street and Broadway in one of your downtown businesses. I am completely in favor of getting rid of all of the traffic meters around the block. In fact, part of May is historic. I'm pretty sure in our historic preservation month back in 1892, there weren't any parking meters on that block, and in all good conscience, I'd love to, be part of the proclamation and seeing those things disappear. Thank you.
Well, there were watering troughs. There weren't very many vehicles in the country, and probably none in Council Bluffs in 1892. But I take
Anyone
your
from the
point.
council?
Well, every year I remind the residents, Tim, you're already grinning, you know what I'm going to say. Celebrate CB is coming up. It's one of the fine events run here in the city by nonprofits. We just had the Blast from the Past fundraiser down in the 100 block. This is another opportunity for the citizens of the community to come together and celebrate and enjoy Council Bluffs. It kicks off this coming Friday with the barbecue competition, also celebrating Dahl Distributing's 50th anniversary, and I believe there's a concert and fireworks on Saturday. Tuesday the 12th will be clean sweep, so come on up and get your assignment, your cleanup assignment in Bayless Park, 6 o'clock, 5 o'clock? Do you know?
I think it's 5.
5 o'clock, and then after you're done cleaning up your selected area, come back to the park, and the mayor and the council has been asked to grill and serve hot dogs, so come out and enjoy that. And then the carnival starts Thursday, and the event concludes Saturday with the annual parade. So as I say every year, we hope for good weather and that people come out and enjoy.
Anyone else? All right. Thank you very much. Short meeting tonight. Have a great week. We're adjourned.